And hello, everybody, and welcome to Synergy Theater. My name is Ken Adams. I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater, and you have arrived tonight at 6 o'clock p.m., and that means it's time for Synergy Theater Online. And tonight we are so excited to bring you Notes in the Hallway, an improvised teen drama. It is absolutely wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday night with us. And if you are watching us at home, that means you are either watching us on YouTube or Facebook. And we love you no matter which of those two platforms you're coming to us from. So if you are watching us on YouTube and you would like to interact with us tonight by offering us suggestions for our fully improvised show, then go ahead and log into your YouTube account. When you log into your YouTube account, you'll be able to say hello to us just like Lynn Shields did, and Valerie did, and Randy did, and Arastu did. Welcome all of you. It's lovely to have you here. Or if you want to watch us on Facebook, you could give us comments on Facebook too, because I've got another screen going where I'm looking at you on Facebook. So hello, Tyler. Thank you so much for watching us on Facebook. And you can offer us suggestions on Facebook as well. Now, we are Synergy Theater. We produce full-length improvised theater in different styles and genres. In the real world, we are based in Walnut Creek, California, and we perform in the beautiful Leisure Center for the Performing Arts right in downtown Walnut Creek. One day when we're not all inside anymore, come on over to Walnut Creek and check us out in our live space. But until that day comes, we are absolutely thrilled to be invited right into your home or right into the palm of your hand, depending on how you're watching us, through the magic of Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. Our show tonight, as I mentioned, is the Notes in the Hallway, but we have just launched our entire brand new season, and that means every weekend from now on, we're going to be rotating in new shows, brand new shows that you never saw before. Next week, Thursday at 6 o'clock, we're debuting the Improvised Museum of Art, in which our cast will play famous paintings hanging in a museum, and the play will be what happens between those paintings when none of the viewers in the museum are watching. It's an amazing show. Rehearsals have been so much fun, and we actually look like the paintings. So come back next week, Thursday at 6 o'clock, and check that out. Friday at 7 o'clock, we're debuting another brand new show, and that is Just Saying, the Pat Pickled and Chris Fuddled show, and that is an improvised talk show in the style of the old Regis and Kathy Lee show, if you remember that. And our two hosts will interview many different guests, but guess what? A drama breaks out. So come on and check us out next week, Thursday at 6, Friday and 7. But now it's time to start our show for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the cast of Notes in the Hallway to our screen. Come on out, everybody, and let's say hello to the audience. All right, my friends, it is time to get some suggestions from the audience. So one of the first things that we like to do is get the suggestions of names for our characters. Now, before you start typing in your suggestions, let me tell you where we are. Notes in the Hallway takes place in a high school in the year 2005. So yes, we are all teenagers in high school in the year 2005. And what we are going to need from you first are some character names. So go ahead and type in some names that you think a high school kid in the year 2005 might have. And let's see those come up. As those are coming up, as soon as you see them, just go ahead and call out which one of those you're going to take, and then go ahead and change your name on screencast in order to take those names. So, I am definitely taking Biff. That's the one I'm going to take.
I'll take Candy Cane.
And hey, Ken, do we want to have last names too?
Yes, thank you. Can we go ahead? Everybody throw up some last names there too. So if you want to grab one of the first names that you see coming up and then pair it with a last name, you can do that. Or if people want to start putting up first and last names, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. So let's see. I see the name Glade. I'm going to take that as my last name. So I'm going to be Biff Glade.
Hey, could you read out the names? Because I can't see them.
Yep, no problem. All right, so we have Biff Glade, we have Bosco Griffin, we have Beulah Stafford.
I'm Beulah Stafford.
All right, Robin is taking Beulah Stafford. We have Candy Cane up there. Let's see, what else do we have? We have Terry Cloth. Terry Cloth. It's a pun, get it? Terry Cloth.
I see two I want to mix together. I want to get Chip Brittany.
All right, you will be Chip Brittany, and that means, Robin, you're going to go ahead and change your name on. There you go, Beulah Stafford.
And I need one too. I can't
All right,
see.
and Candy, let's see, Nikki is Candy, and Eileen, how about you take Skippy Jones?
Okay then.
Skippy Jones. All right, and Eileen is Mrs. How do you pronounce that, Eileen? Justine, how do you pronounce your name?
Aubergine.
Aubergine. All right, Justine is going to be our principal tonight, so she is Mrs. Aubergine, and we have Chip. All right, and I am Biff. Looks like we're good with the names. All right, everybody, thank you very much. Now we need some more, and not more names, but here's the next suggestion we're going to get from you. We would like you to suggest what is the mascot of our school. We go to Lakemont High School. What is the mascot of Lakemont High School? You can put that up on YouTube, or you can put that up on Facebook. We appreciate you watching us. All right. I think we will go with the platypus. Our mascot is the platypus. That's the Lakemont platypus. And finally, now this is the important one. Oh, Kevin Fisher suggested the Lady of the Lake. That is, unfortunately, we've already taken platypus, but I just want to reach out to Kevin Fisher and say thank you for being literate, my friend. All right. Now, here is the next thing that we need. And take a moment here and come up with something nice for us. All of the kids in the show tonight are in trouble, and they're in trouble because they have been implicated in taking part in some terrible prank at the high school. So think of a prank that used to be played at high schools, something like taking all of the jock sneakers and tying them up to the lamppost, or putting orange juice in all of the teachers' gas tanks, or something like that. Come up with a prank that was perpetrated at Lakemont High School. And when you have an idea, go ahead and just type that in there. You could do that on YouTube, or you could do that. All right. All right. Let's get a whole bunch up there. These are very, very good ones. All right. All right. Here's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with somebody put ketchup in all of the soap dispensers. Someone put ketchup in all of the soap dispensers. Let me just read out a few of these, because there's a real number of very good ones. Someone said filling the teachers' lockers with water balloons. That comes from Zoe Carpe. Somebody said stole the old tires and blocked all the school bathrooms with them. Someone put bubbles in the pool. Someone had icy hot on all the toilet seats. Tyler Chartel said putting icy hot on all of the toilet seats. So all of those are excellent ideas. We are going to take Valerie George's suggestion of putting ketchup in the soap dispensers. All right, now those are all the suggestions that we're going to ask for right now. However, as the show goes on, if you have an idea for something that you would like to see happen, then go ahead and type it in. We do not guarantee we'll be able to see or take all of your suggestions, but if we happen to glance over and we see something that strikes our fancy, maybe we will still grab one of your suggestions and use it in the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are set with our suggestions. I'm going to ask all of the cast to go off screen and get ready. And in just one moment, our principal is going to come back out and start the show. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Synergy Theater's production of Notes in the hallway.
May I please have the following students report to my office right away, please? Beulah Stafford, Candy Kane, what's these?
What?
Skippy Jones, Chip Brittany, and Biff Glade. Well, well, well. I know that some of you are disappointed to be pulled from AP Chem, while some of you couldn't wait to leave Mrs. Sanderson's English class. Looking at you, Mr. Glade. Now, I'm not going to be coy. You know why you're here. A certain event occurred the other day when we had the entire community at the school for the pep rally before the football game. Someone thought that it would be very funny, hilarious, actually, to replace all of the soap in all 27, yes, 27 bathroom soap containers. We have a lot of soap containers and a lot of bathrooms. Someone thought it was funny to steal the cafeteria supply of ketchup for the year and put it in the soap dispenser. Miss Kane, you may think that's funny, but unfortunately, the football boosters all happen to have terrible tomato allergies. We may not get funding for the rest of the season. I don't know what to tell Coach Smith about the team not being able to take their spring break training retreat in Cancun. So this is serious. And because tomatoes count as a vegetable for our school lunch program, we now no longer have ketchup and we no longer can serve you vegetables. And so we might get sued by the State Department of Health. It's a big problem. We have done an investigation and we have found notes as evidence that implicate all 5 of you. Now, I've prayed about it. I've talked about it with my Bible study group, and I think it's best that we sit here in our guilt and try to figure out why this terrible tragedy took place. Miss Stanford, you are a part of my prayers as well.
Thank you,
Pray for all of you.
Miss Eggplant.
It's aubergine. Aubergine!
I thought that was the same thing.
Miss Stafford, it is funny that you keep on piping up because the first note is yours. Why don't you regale us with your note from the past as we try to solve this mystery? And we can be like the good Lakemont platypus that we are and uniquely solve this problem.
Wait, this doesn't have anything to do with a prank. This is a private note.
These notes all lead up to the prank and they serve as vital evidence. So, Miss Beulah, read it anyway.
Jeez. From Beulah to Candy Cane. When we were there in the hallway, I told you about Saturday night's party, but I didn't tell you everything. I told you about, hanging with the homies and how that was, but, well, you won't believe it. But Skippy Jones had her dreams come true. I saw her go upstairs. It was the party where Biff's family was out of town. So, we were just kicking it. And Anyway, Skippy Jones went upstairs with Chip. And they were gone a long time. And ever since her sophomore year, all Skippy wanted was Chip. And Chip was just like, talk to the hand. But now I'm thinking that they might have something going on. Because not only did I see them at the party, but yesterday, out in the front lawn of the school, I was walking by and I pretended like I needed to tie my shoe, and I bent down, and this is what I heard Skippy say to Chip.
Hi, Chip. You look good today.
And she was all like, looking at him with those big doe eyes and just like breathless. And he was just back to her. And he said this.
That's surprising considering I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
And she was like,
How do you do it? You're amazing. How do you go to school without sleeping?
it was like gag me with a spoon when she said that. But anyway, he said,
I mean, I shouldn't be telling you this, but I read on this blog site that if you snort soap, then you can stay awake for 48 hours straight.
can you believe he does that, Candy? I was just like, gross. What is wrong with you? And then I just, tied my shoe and left. Anyway, later, girl. See you in Kim. Ugh.
To Skippy from Candy. Hey, Skippy, bestie. What's this about you and Chip at a party at Biff's? I didn't know about it. I heard you were like spending some time with him up in the bedroom. Skippy, we made a pact. I can't believe that you would be like this to me. I mean, you didn't even tell me. Why am I having to hear it from Beulah? I mean, of all people, I'm hearing it from Beulah. And then she sees you with Chip talking away. Well, I saw you too with Chip, and Biff was also there too. And they were in the locker room talking away about me, Skippy. I heard Biff say to Chip,
Chip, I thought you were all like into candy.
and then Chip's like all,
Candy's sweet, but Skippy's like peanut butter.
and then Biff said, and I couldn't even believe it, Skippy. He said,
Chip, that's not fair. You can't have all the girls. You have candy.
and then Chip was like in the middle of combing back his hair, thinking he's all cool, had to say this.
Biff, I can't help it if I'm irresistible and none of the girls like you. You're a dork.
And then that's when you came up to the locker, Skippy, and my feelings are still really hurt, okay? I heard what you said to Biff and to Chip at the same time.
Hi, you guys. Did you know that Candy's parents got divorced last week?
Couldn't believe that you would say that to the biggest gossips in town. You know how much I'm hurt by that. Chip and Biff started whispering about me. I could hear them. I heard Chip say to Biff,
I mean, it's weird that Skippy's in the boys' locker room, but it's even weirder that Candy's parents are divorced. What the heck?
and then Biff said,
I know. I think if your parents get divorced, you're very likely to end up being a serial killer or something.
So, Skippy, nobody gets divorced in this school, and now I'm a pariah. Thanks a lot. I gotta go.
From Skippy to Chip. Hey, Chip. That was really fun last week. And I really like hanging out with you. Maybe we could do it again after school today. And I wanted to let you know that I wanted to start a recycling club on campus, and I thought that you would be the best spokesperson. And I think you're so amazing. And I just wanted you to know that you might have to go up against somebody else who wants to be the recycling club spokesperson. And I know this because I overheard Biff talking to Beulah about it. I saw Biff go up to Beulah and say this really crazy thing about the recycling club.
Look, I just think that if I can be the captain of the recycling club, maybe Skippy will start to like me.
And then Beulah, who I thought Biff was a dork, said this.
You know, Biff, I think you're right. You got a good head on your shoulders, guy.
And Biff suddenly seemed like he got really confident and his head got really big. Like I actually saw his head get bigger, and he was talking all confidently, and he had these plans, like a 3-point plan for recycling.
I'm going to reduce the amount of time that I'm not in love with Skippy. I'm going to reuse some corny old pickup lines that my older brother taught me, but I'm gonna do it with heart. And I'm gonna recycle. I'm gonna recycle on my bicycle around Skippy's house as long as it takes for her to look out the window and notice me.
And
Yeah, man, you rap on.
And clearly, Chip, Beulah, and Biff do not understand the depth of recycling and what it really is about. But I still think you're going to have to work really hard to defeat Biff to become the recycling spokesperson captain. Anyway, I snuck out. They never saw me. And I just wanted you to give this heads up before anybody else told you, because I'm looking out for you, Chip, because I really like you. Skippy.
From Chip to Candy. Hey, babe. I hope you haven't forgotten about me. I know there's like rumors flying around about me and Skippy, but you don't have to worry. I mean, in fact, it's so cute how Biff, I think he has a thing for her because I saw the two of them at the recyclathon. And I don't know, Biff was all blushing and stuff, and Skippy, she was setting things up.
Woo!
Oh, hey, there you are.
Hey.
And like, Candy, it was like 70 degrees outside, but Biff was sweating profusely. And he said,
Skippy, I'm so glad you're part of the recyclathon. I am too.
and Skippy, like, she seemed kind of awkward because I think she knew what Biff was up to, but she said,
Well, Biff, why don't you take these papers and put them in the blue bin?
and it was weird because when he was taking it, their hands touched for a second. And like, I could see in their eyes like some kind of spark or something. And then Biff said all of a sudden,
Skippy, I love you.
I was like, what? Dude, no. But then what Skippy said shocked me.
Biff, I think you're so, you know, nice. And I think you should know that Chip and I are a thing. He doesn't really maybe know it yet, but we are.
And I realized, Candy, maybe I shouldn't be writing this as I'm doing this note, but I wrote it in pen. Ah, shoot. Okay, maybe Skippy and I did a few things together, but it's nothing, Candy. Anyway, Biff said,
Look, Chip isn't the right guy for you. I know stuff about Chip, bad stuff.
and I didn't want this conversation to go on anymore. So I stomped over and I grabbed Biff and I dragged him away. And I was like, I need him for, we got to recycle some cardboard boxes, Skippy.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what I told him, Candy, but he better stay away from her. And also, you're still my girl. So that's all.
To Biff from Candy. I don't get it, Biff. Chip writes me this note, says I'm still his main girl, and yet he's all over Skippy, and you're not doing one thing about it. You're supposed to stand up for me, Biff. I'm like your best second friend. I don't get it. What? Recycling? What's with it? Chip's like writes me this stupid note in ink, and then I gotta hear from him that he's with Skippy, and there's nothing anybody wants to do to watch my back. I saw you with Chip going on about it. When Chip showed up and he was talking to you about Skippy, I couldn't even believe my ears. I heard him say to you,
Yo, Biff, why don't you just lay off Skippy, all right?
and you just took it. And then I heard you say,
Look, I love her. I don't care that you're cool and I'm not. I love her.
and then Chip said right back to you,
Dude, Biff, you don't love her. It's a crush, and she doesn't even like you back.
I couldn't even believe it, Biff. And then you said to him, like I didn't even exist.
Look, Chip, I know that your first set of parents got divorced too. You think I don't know that? It's 2005. 33,000 marriages end in divorce this year. And the numbers have only been getting worse. And I know that your parents got divorced, and I know that you ran away, and I know that you did 3 years in juvenile detention before you got adopted by your current family and moved to this town and came to our school. And I've been sitting on that, Chip. I've been sitting on that because I'm a nice guy, and I thought maybe you and I could be friends or something. But I am in love with Skippy. Do you understand? And there's nothing that's going to stand in the way of me winning her heart, even if I have to tell everyone what I know about you.
And that's when Chip punched you in the face. And then he ran off, and I've never seen him cry like that in my whole life. And I just wanted to go after him and tell him it's okay. People get divorced now. What's wrong with you, Biff? I can't even look at you anymore.
From Biff to Candy. Look, Candy, I'm out here in the front lawn, and I'm looking up at the sky, and I'm looking for some sign from God or something about what to do next, but I'm lost. Look, Candy, I'm sorry. I know you and me used to be friends, but something has come over me. I've never felt the way I feel about Skippy, like I never felt that way about anyone else. And when I see her looking at other guys, it just drives me nuts. I got to use any tool that I have to win her. And if that means I have to use the fact that your parents are divorced, and the fact that his parents are divorced, and the fact that it is an absolute scientifically proven fact that if you come from a broken family, you are very, very likely to become a serial killer. If I have to use that fact in order to win my close part in Skippy's life, then I'm going to do it. In fact, I did it. I went up to Skippy the other day. I found her. She was sitting out on the quad, just where I am now. And I went over to her, and she still looked so cute with all of those milk cartons in her big bucket. And I told her everything I knew about Biff. That's me, about Skippy. About his parents being divorced, about him being in juvie, about him being a common criminal and likely to become worse. And when she finished listening to everything I had to tell her, she was all like,
Biff? Does that mean that Chip is a serial killer? Or he will be one? Oh,
so I was like, yeah. And she was like,
but he told me that he was dedicated to using the school mascot, the platypus, as a venue to help use recycling to save platypuses all over the world. And now you're telling me that he's a serial killer.
yeah, he doesn't care anything about platypuses. He was a liar. And you know who else is a serial killer? And I'm sorry, Candy, but I had to do it. Candy. And Skippy was all like,
No. Oh my God. You know, I used to do sleepovers at her house. Does that mean that she might want to kill me?
so I was like, yeah, it probably does. And Skippy was all like,
Oh my God. I think I need to talk to the principal.
no, wait. You see, I had to stop her from doing that because none of this was true. I was just lying, but I couldn't let her know that. So I was all like, Skippy, wait, the principal's in on it too.
You mean Mrs. Aubergine is also a serial killer? And
So now I was like spinning out of control and I didn't know where this was going. So I was like, yeah, she's the leader. There's a whole crime ring of serial killers here in the school, and she's the leader of the whole underground ring. And if anyone lets her know that they know, oh, she'll have them killed. So you can't tell her nothing. And Skippy was all like,
oh my goodness. Biff, I'll keep it a secret, but this is really troubling.
and then I was all like, Skippy, I'll keep you safe if you keep me safe, if we spend some time together. And I think it was starting to work because she was all like,
Well, if you take this paper to the blue bin and then come back later, maybe we could hang out in the bleachers for a while. Will you take this?
oh, yeah. So I took the paper from her and I went off thinking, that was pretty cool. So anyway, Candy, I know all of that was kind of crazy, but I'm really going to need you to have my back on this one and help me pull this off so that Skippy and I end up together. Anyway, I got to go to algebra. Yours, Biff.
Mrs. Eggplant, Please don't make me do any more of this. I am so upset. I am more upset than when I read the notes the first time. He's accusing me of being a serial killer, seriously? And Chip?
And you are forgetting how I was implicated in this serial killing rumor. All to get Miss Skippy to like a certain Mr. Glade. Very, very interesting, Mr. Glade. It's okay, Candy. You don't have a note for a while. What I would like to present as a case of evidence is something that Mr. Sanderson found in the back of his chemistry lab. It seems to be a part of a personal diary that was torn out and crumpled. I believe it was written by Skippy. Based on the fact that there are ketchup stains on this, we were able to date that it happened before the incident, so we've placed it here. And because it refers to the serial killer ring, as it's said in this paper, we know it's after she received this terrible rumor from Biff. Skippy, will you please read your diary entry that you discarded in the back of the chem lab?
Mrs. Aubergine.
Thank you. You got it right.
Dear Diary, this is a very serious time in my life. And I hope that one day when I wake up 20 years from now, that I look back and think that this was funny, but it's not. It's really serious. But I have only one person that I can count on. And that's somebody that I never knew that I could count on, and that's Biff. Because he and I know the secret of the serial killers here at school. And there's something very, very wrong going on here. And only Biff understands me. And so I asked him to meet me at the bleachers. And he did. And while we were there, we talked about things. Biff, I'm really scared. I'm so afraid because serial killers are my biggest fear, aside from global warming.
Yeah, I know. I'm scared too, but that's why we have to stay close together and maybe even hug each other a lot for safety.
Okay. And Diary, we hugged each other and I liked it. And after we were hugging for a while, I told him that I saw something weird. Biff, the other day, I saw Beulah, and she was in the cafeteria. And I hope that she's not a serial killer too, but I saw her talking to Candy in the cafeteria, and I saw that Beulah had a bunch of ketchup, and she didn't need it like that much because she wasn't eating tater tots. She had a salad, which is so weird. Anyway, I was watching them talk and I saw Beulah take these ketchup packets and kind of throw them up in the air and make this weird exclamation.
Yeah! I'm
And then-
so sick of school. Biff's going postal. I don't know. He's so lame with all this stuff he's saying to, I don't know, Skippy about murders and stuff like that. I mean, this is 2005. People get divorced. They don't turn their kids into serial murders. I mean, give me a break.
And I didn't understand what she was talking about. And Candy made sense of it. They couldn't see me, but I heard them talking like sometimes as if they were talking to me. It was very weird. But I heard Candy say this.
Look, Skippy thinks that she's in love with Biff. And this is nuts. She's thinking that he's going to be all about recycling. No way. Those little ketchup packets, no way. They're not even recyclable. And she's all about trying to make it work for Biff and pretend that she's all about the ecosystem and global warming. And Biff is trying to make up that he likes that too. But no, absolutely not. She was like seriously just taking those ketchup packets, right? And squashing them with her feet. So it'd spray over everybody, squash, spray, squash, spray. And Biff was helping her, throwing that stuff down, squash, spray everywhere. And guess who got caught for that? Me.
So I had to run away at that point. I couldn't hear what they were babbling about, but Biff, they blamed me and you on splashing ketchup all over the cafeteria while we were here in the bleachers. And I think now that probably Beulah is a serial killer too, and she's fascinated with ketchup because it reminds her of blood or something. Anyway, so then Biff and we hugged some more, and then I slept really well that night. And I had dreams that I was living in a castle with Biff. Is that enough, Mrs. Aubergine?
Yes, and I'm glad that we only found one page of that enlightening diary. Yes, Chip.
I kind of want to read next, Mrs. Aubergine.
Well, Mr. Chip Brittany, it so happens that yours is the next note. And it's aubergine. It's French, I think. It's
Sorry,
a note.
Mrs. Ovaries. Gosh.
Read your note.
Okay. From Chip to Beulah. Hey, Beulah. All this stuff that Biff was saying about us being serial killers, which is complete nonsense, has really gotten Skippy all worked up. And I just thought you'd want to know that I was trying to mend things with her. So I know it's kind of weird, but I followed her into the girls' bathroom one day. And she was there, and the light was kind of flickering and all. And she didn't see me. I came up behind her. And I was all like, "Hi, Skippy." And she jumped. She was like startled. I don't know why. But she turned to me and said,
What? Why are you following me, Chip?
and I told her, "Skippy, you don't really think I'm a serial killer, do you?" And she looked like she was trying to leave, and I wanted to keep talking, so I blocked her way. But she said,
The way you're acting makes me think that you are.
and I smiled my best smile because I was trying to look nice. And I said, "Skippy, I'm not a serial killer. I just really care about recycling." And she said,
Don't come any closer. I've got
and
it.
I wanted to show her how much I cared about recycling. So I showed her the little thing that we all did. Well, you see, Skippy, all of the teachers have been putting soap in these dispensers, and they throw the soap bottles in the trash, which is not good for recycling. So I thought I wanted to teach them a lesson. Why don't you squirt a little soap in your hands? And she said,
Okay. You put blood in here? That's blood. Why is there blood in this soap dispenser?
and I tried to tell her it wasn't, but then what she did next scared me so much.
I'm going to tell Mrs. Eggplant.
And she ran out of the bathroom, ketchup all over. and I tried to follow her, but she ran like the wind. I don't think this went the way I thought. Anyway, that's all I have to say, Beulah. I have to go wash my hands.
From Beulah to Candy. Hey, Boo. This whole thing has gone down so bad. It's just like, it's total mess. Now, Chip, he I don't know what he's trying to do. He just came on to Skippy in the bathroom somehow, and the whole thing got blown. I don't know. We may be in a big pile of mess. So prepare yourself, because I saw Biff talking with Chip, and you know what a big tattletale Biff is. You can't count on him for anything. And this is what Biff was saying to Chip.
Look, man, it just got out of control. Don't look at me like that.
And Chip was he was not taking the chill pill. He was going for it. It was hasta la vista. He said,
If you told everyone I was a serial killer.
And then Biff was like, so lame, trying to make up some huge windy again.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't do it on purpose because I was crazy. You don't know this, but I suffer from tutelatiolaliasin.
I don't even know how to spell that, but it was something like that. And Chip was just like,
That's a nonsense word, Biff. Now, I did go to juvie, but not because I'm a serial killer, but for something else that I think I'd like to show you.
and then this is what Chip showed Biff.
It's a little thing called arson, Biff. And you didn't realize, but all the soap in this school is super flammable. Oops, oh, I just dumped some on your pants.
And Biff was like,
Oh, what are you gonna do, man? What are you doing with that cigarette lighter?
Like Mrs. Aubergine said, because she's so religious, some of us are gonna burn in hell, aren't we?
so I was like, oh, my bad. I thought Biff was really out there when he was saying that Chip was some kind of psycho, but maybe not. Yeah.
No, you can't. Skippy, I see you down there. Skippy, come over here, please.
And I just ran out at that point. I didn't want to see what was happening. So, girl, peace out. We got to get out of this.
Well, that was our last letter, ending on a suspenseful note. Biff, Skippy, would you mind recounting what happened? Your pants were soaked with flammable soap, which I did not know was an issue with our soap. I will have to talk to our supplier.
Well, come on, Skippy, we might as well tell what happened. You came running over.
I did. And by that point, Mrs. Aubergine, I knew that it wasn't blood that was in the soap, that it was ketchup, because I tasted it, because I secretly always wanted to know what blood tasted like.
And meanwhile, Chip had gone ahead and lit my pants on fire, and suddenly my pants start flaming, and then Skippy, tell him what you did.
Well, I smothered the plants out with my body. I made him duck, cover, and roll, and used my body.
And we were rolling together, and come on, Chip, you might as well admit what you did then.
Well,
Well,
at that, oh, sorry.
my turn to talk, Skippy. Anyway, I started throwing more soap all over Biff because he's a liar.
Yeah, and like suddenly the flames start leaping up around me again, and then Skippy, go ahead, you were so heroic then.
Well, I used my mouth to put out the flames because my mom told me that I have a big mouth, and I thought, well, I can use that. So I used it to put out the flames. Amazing.
And I didn't even care that part of me was still burning, just Skippy's big old tongue rolling all over me and putting out the flames felt so good. And then Chip, go ahead, Chip.
Well, I was shouting out what my father told me, my real father, who is not divorced, and that is liar, liar, pants on fire. You deserved it.
And so there I was lying on the floor with my right leg kind of charred a little bit, but I didn't really feel the pain because I had Skippy Jones on me, and I was like, yeah. And suddenly I started feeling bad about lying and everything, and I'm holding in the scream and everything, but I look at Chip's eyes and they're all like sad and everything. So Skippy put out the rest of the smoldering charred flesh on my thigh. And then I realized that I was wrong to have done what I did.
Well, I must say I am surprised that an act of arson took place in our school, and I was not aware, but it does explain why Nurse Smith asked for extra burn ointment and why there was fire damage in C Hall.
Just so you know, the fire alarms and sprinkler system don't work.
And the reason you didn't know is because it smelled like meatloaf.
Well, actually, they do work. They're just clogged with ketchup right now.
Oh, Lord. Okay, all right. All of this is very confusing, and all of this is very revealing. I think there are some things that we need to address. Who needs to address the truth with somebody? Yes, Miss Candy.
That's what I'm going to do, Aubergina, and don't be mad at me, because if I'm going down for this, I'm going to go down like this. Biff, this is a ketchup bottle, and I am going to...
No, not in this office. No. Look, here's the clear problem. Chip, not only who was helping you with the ketchup? Was it just you alone?
I'm not a rat.
Well, I can tell by Candy and Beulah's face that they helped you. Did you also know, Candy and Beulah, that the soap was going to be used as a explosive, whatever, lighting device to start a fire?
I knew.
Beulah?
I didn't know. How would I know that? Ketchup doesn't explode.
Come on, Beulah. You can
So
admit
it appears that a simple prank ended up being a device to harm somebody. Chip, I know that you have been at this school for a couple of years since you moved here with your family. However, I think that maybe you need to talk to our counselors and figure out some better assistance so that you are not destroying the school, burning the flesh off of your friends, and enabling the help of two girls who are usually very, very good in creating fiascos and fires. What do you have to say for yourself?
I just have to say that Biff insulted me, and he made all of us feel bad because of our parents. And I don't know, it might have been that, it might have been the fact that I'm snorting soap all the time, but I just got really upset. And
Can I say something?
Well, you better, Biff, because it was because of you that this whole rumor got started.
My parents are divorced.
So we're not different from each other, are we? Divorce is very common. I'm divorced.
Mrs. Aubergina, this is all my fault. Chip, I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have done none of this, but I didn't know what to do. Skippy, I just loved you so much. and I was afraid someone might find out that my parents were divorced, or I saw you with Chip. I don't know. I just went nuts, but I'm sorry. And if there's any punishment to be doled out here, then I want to take it all.
That's very noble of you, Biff.
Mrs. Aubergine,
Skippy.
Aubergine.
Aubergine, like jeans, like what the teachers wear on Fridays.
I want to say that I think I started it by telling people about Candy's parents getting a divorce. And I didn't know that all these people got divorces. I know that my own parents fight a lot, and my mom would like to leave my dad, but I should never have said that, Candy. I'm sorry. And I don't think it's true about the serial killer thing.
Yes.
So,
I think we are learning a valuable lesson here about judgments on other people and also keeping business to ourselves if we know something about someone.
yeah.
Therefore, my decision after lots of prayer, yes, I pray while I listen, is this. Candy, Chip, and Beulah, you will be doing community service throughout the community, picking up the most disgusting trash along Highway 45. Yes,
Like all the soap bottles that the teachers leave?
Yes, and also the terrible roadkill that is there. You will be cleaning that up as well. Chip, I will be referring you to further counseling services. Biff, I think you should also talk to a counselor as well. You will be cleaning the entire school as penance for running your mouth. And Skippy, you will help him. Don't look so excited, Mr. Glade. That I have decided instead of suspending you all or sending you all to juvie, which I'm sure Chip would show you around. You should be very kind of my mercy, very, very willing of it, very accepting. Say thank you, Miss Aubergine.
Thank you, Miss
Mrs.
Aubergine.
Aubergine.
I just want to know one thing before we leave.
Yes.
Skippy, now that you know all this stuff about Biff and me not being a serial killer, like, who do you choose?
And you don't have to choose one or the other. You can choose you.
Wow. Me. I don't know. I know that I enjoyed putting the fire out on Biff.
That was the best moment of my life.
It was pretty cool. And I know that you're really cool, Chip, and I think you care about recycling. But I think right now I like Biff.
Well, that was a captivating decision, Skippy. As long as there's no more fires or weird substances in the soap dispensers, and you all fulfill your part of the punishment, I consider our conversation over. You may all return to class, but I will be watching the 5 of you closely, and I will be not using the soap ever in this school. You may leave.
So, Candy, I'm single again. Do you want to do anything?
Bye, Mr. Brittany. Oh, kids these days.
And that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Let's bring our entire cast back on screen. Thank you for watching Notes in the Hallway. Notes in the Hallway was conceived and directed by Justine Moser, who played Miss Aubergine for us. Wave, Justine. And on the count of 3, everybody, let's give the audience the bow they deserve. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all so much for being here. Synergy Theater is a small nonprofit arts organization, and like all nonprofit arts organizations, we are struggling mightily during the pandemic to keep things going. If you are comfortable and are of the means, please go to synergytheater.com, click on Support Synergy Theater, and make a small donation. We're going to be here as long as we have to be inside, bringing you absolutely free improvised shows on YouTube and Facebook, but it does cost some money, and your tax-deductible donation would help very, very much. Please go to synergytheater.com and make a small donation. If you were watching us tonight and you were thinking, wow, improv looks like fun, you're right, it is. If you think, wow, can I do improvisation too? Yes, you can. And Synergy Theater would love to show you how. We offer classes, online classes in improvisation. So if you have the instinct to give it a shot, go to synergytheater.com, click on our class information page, and sign up for a class. We have everything for classes from people who have never improvised before a day in their life, and all the way up to seasoned professionals in our advanced classes and master classes. Go to synergytheater.com and check it out. Finally, please come back next week, Thursday at 6 o'clock for the debut of the Improvised Museum of Art, and Friday at 7 o'clock for the world debut of Just Saying, the Pat Fuddled and Chris Pickled show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Please stay safe, stay healthy. Synergy Theater loves you. Good night.